one of the last things we learned new was keying out green screens. So I'm going to import my green screen footage. I double clicked in here. I could go File, Import File. Here's my green screen footage. Now, working with video clips is entirely different in After Effects. I'm going to drag it onto the new composition icon. It's right here. It looks like a film strip right next to 8 bits per channel, which is what we adjust for light effects as we learned before. So when I click it, drag it over the film strip icon, I now get a composition that's the exact same time, size, and frame rate as the video footage. And just so we can see what's going on behind, I'm going to use the galaxy, put myself in outer space. Let me hide this. There we go. Okay, I'll scale that up just a little bit just to make sure it's filling in the whole thing. I'm going to turn off the audio with the speaker right there, just because I don't need the audio for this. Now, LumaKeys will affect the bright or dark areas. So I'll just do Luma. So I'm just going to knock out the white of my shirt. So I'm going to key out brighter. Key out the brighter parts. Change the threshold. You could animate this in as you want, But as you see, that's based off of light and dark values. That's what a LumaKey is good for. The LumaKey is not what I want for this situation, but say here's my wood. Here we go. Put the wood above and put the LumaKey on that. Same thing, key out the lighter. Now if this was like a black and white, like just 2-color image for the texture, I could do that as well. See, now I'm keeping parts of the dark texture that I want. You can change your tolerance as well. Your edges, make them thicker or thinner. That's all up to you. And you can also feather, soften the edges if you want. So that's what a LumaMat's going to do. It's going to work off of what's light or dark, and you just change it there. Key out similar, dissimilar. Each effect you choose will have a different amount of what's keyed out. I'm going to keep that back on there for you for the tutorial. Sorry about that. I'll do key out brighter. Right about there just for the fun of it. Okay. Now for the green screen, we're going to want Keylight. That's right there. I'm just going to double click it to apply it to the green screen layer because it was selected. You'll pick a color close to where the subject is. That's me. That's pretty tight. Now, final result is what it's going to look like when you're done. We're going to be working with screen matte. As I said before, you want this to be as solid white as possible and the rest to be as solid black as possible. So I'm going to make a mask around me. I didn't move around much. And remember, as I said, if you're shooting someone against a green screen, there's going to be a lot of motion. Crank up your shutter speed on your camera. Normally, it's double the frame rate, 24 frames per second. You'd want 48 or 50, 1/48, 1/48th or 1/50th of a second for your shutter speed. But against a green screen, you'd probably want to double that to be about 1/100th of a second. You can adjust your alpha bias by clicking on the color and adjusting it here. See how it's getting the darker shades of the gray, the green. You can also use your screen matte, clip black. That's basically looking pretty good if I adjust that. Nope, you can see how that's affecting the mask. And again, like I said, I want this as pure white and that as pure black as possible. You could always change your blending mode, your replacement color mode. I'm just going to do source. That's soft color. We'll do soft color for the fun of it. Now I'm going to change my screen matte up here back to final result. And there's the mask around cutting out the black side, because without that mask you'd see that big black bar that we don't want. I'm going to duplicate this layer. On the bottom layer, I'm going to get rid of my green screen. The top layer will be my alpha matte. Now you have to bear in mind, we just keyed that out and I put this mask around it. So this is the alpha. Well, what's not me is alpha. It's transparent. This is what you're going to see. So when I go alpha matte down here, I now have a nice clean sharp mask. There's some green spill we don't want. So I'm going to select both of these, right click, pre-compose, call it Keylight PC for pre-comp, hit OK. Now I can apply a simple choker and hue saturation. There's simple choker. I'm going to put that on top of it, of my pre-comp. Turn off the audio because I don't need it. And the other one was hue saturation. So if I wanted to clean up that choker, I adjust this a little bit, and that already got rid of the green line, and I'm not removing too much of my mask. Now watch, if I crank it up really high, you can see I'm starting to disappear. That's not what I want, but if it's the effect you're looking for, you could keyframe animate it over time and do that. So that's pretty good. Happy with that. I'm going to pick just the greens in the hue saturation, and I'm going to desaturate those a bit. You could always tighten in the area that you're looking for of the mask. So now you've got a pretty clean mask against the sky background, and nothing is showing through my shirt or my tie, my eyes, any of the highlights. And that is basically keying out in a nutshell. Again, remember, higher shutter speed when you're shooting so that you get less blur when the person's moving, which you'll see in the blur part. It's harder to key that out, but there's a nice still me just sitting down for the recording. We'll end it right there.